Okay, so this is a key to the transformation worksheet number 2. So in number 1, you're told that the y is equal to f of negative x minus 2. And so the graph of this is a graph of f of x, and then it's one of these choices. All right, so this what's going to confuse you probably is this negative x. So you have to remember the difference between this. So negative f of x versus f of negative x. All right, those are not the same, not the same. So if you have that negative in front, that's easy to see that basically you're taking all these y values and you're taking the opposite of that. So what you're doing is, for example, if y is 3, then this becomes negative 3. So that's a reflection about the x-axis. So this negative out in front of f of x is a reflection about the x-axis. All right. And then when we talked about this here, when we talked about this says you're going to take x and you're going to look at this opposite. All right. So the y value will stay the same. All you're doing is reflecting you're looking at x negative x, x negative x. So that's a reflection about the y-axis. So a negative x within that parentheses is a reflection about or across the y-axis. Okay, so that's the difference between the two. So when you look at number 1, we have that negative x. So that's going to be a reflection about the y-axis. And then that negative 2 out here, that's that k. So you're going to shift vertically down 2 units. All right, so this is going to be a reflection about the y-axis. So reflection about the y-axis. And then, see, this is your k right here. So then, since k is negative 2, shift down. That's a vertical translation. So I shift down 2 units. So we got to find the one that says reflection about the y-axis. So this is x, so that's out of the question, right? This is x as well, so that's out of the question. So it's one of these two. So reflection over the y-axis and then shifted down 2 units, and that's what I needed. So it's C. So C is the answer. All right. Now, when you look at number 2, so there's something you got to remember about a number out in front. All right. So this is what you got to remember. So if you have y equals a times f of x plus k, which is what this is, you have to remember about that coefficient. So if a is greater than 1, so meaning it's an improper fraction. So an improper fraction, greater than 1, improper fraction. Then basically what you're doing is you are going to be vertical. So that number out in front of a f of x, that's a vertical stretching or a vertical compression. You got to remember which one it is. All right. So if a is greater than 1, in this case it's 2. So you're taking all these y values and you're multiplying it by 2, okay? Which means you're pulling it towards the y-axis. You're pulling it towards the y-axis, meaning you're stretching it. You're stretching that function, okay? So if a is greater than 1, you have a vertical stretch, okay? Vertical stretch. If a is between 0, this is a, if a is between 0 and 1, meaning a proper fraction. So remember, a proper fraction, so a number less than 1, let's say 1/2. So you're taking this y value and you're multiplying by 1/2, so which means that you're making it look bigger. You're pulling it towards the x-axis away from the y-axis. So that would be a vertical compression. So you're compressing it. You're pushing it towards the x-axis. All right. So if a is between 0 and 1, you have a vertical compression. All right. So if you look at this, in this case, a is 2, right? So that's going to be a vertical stretch. So we know that we can take this one off because of the word compression, and this as well, right? So we can delete A and C rather, right away. So it's either B or D. So we know it's a it will be a vertical stretch by a factor of 2. But then you got to look at this K here. Since K is positive, we know we're going to move it up 5 units. So that, I'm sorry, 4 units. So that's going to be this one here. So the answer is D. So vertically stretch by a factor of 2 and then shift up 4 units. And so number 3 is kind of this this discussion we had here. So 3, notice that A, the number in front of f of x, in this case f of x minus 3, is 1/4. That's a number less than 1. So that's going to be a vertical compression. So right away, I know I can take B off and then D off, right? And so remember, if you have that number inside the parentheses here, that's going to be a horizontal shift. But you got to remember x minus h. So f of x minus h, so this is f of x minus 3, so h is a positive 3, right? So since h is a positive 3, you're going to move to the right 3 units. So you got to see which one works. So vertically compressed by a factor of 4, and then shift right 3 units. That's a 1. Okay? So vertically compressed by a factor of 4, and then shift to the right 3 units. All right? Okay, so that was number 3. And number 4, we have this for number 4. Let's see. So here's number 4. And so again, we have that 1/2. So that's going to be a compression, right? A vertical compression. That's a number less than 1, between 0 and 1. All right, so right away, I can take anything that's stretched away. Vertically stretch, I can remove that. That's not going to be the answer. Vertically stretch, again, that's not the answer. So it's a vertical compression. And then right away, I know I've got to go down 3, right? And that doesn't help because all of these are down 3s, correct? So then you just got to look at this. But always go from left to right. So vertically compressed by a factor of 2. We are then going to move horizontally, but you got to remember f of x minus h. So rewrite this as f of x minus h. So f of x plus 2 means the same thing as f of x minus a negative 2. So h in this case is a negative 2. So we're going to horizontally shift. That's a horizontal. We're going to horizontally shift to the left, negative, to the left 2 units. So let's see. So that's going to be which one? To the left. This is to the right. This is to the left. So be C, right? So vertically shift to the left 2 units, down 3 units, and compress by a factor of 2. So the answer is C. And then here, so 3, so the number is greater than 1. That's a vertical stretch. So right away, I can remove this one because of the word compress, and I can remove this because of the word compress. So we know we are vertically stretching by a factor of 3. Here's that negative x. So that negative x, remember, means a reflection about the y-axis. So let's see which one works. And this is moving up 2 units. And if you look, all of these statements say shift up 2 units. So this plus 2 is not going to help us to differentiate which one's correct. So we're going to have to resort to these 2 here. So vertically stretched by a factor of 3. And then we're going to reflect about the y-axis because it's inside that parentheses because it's negative x. So let's see which one it is. So it's going to be vertically stretched by a factor of 3, reflected about the y-axis. See, this says x, right? That says x, so right away I know I can't use that. So the only choice left is D. Okay? And so that is the key to the transformations worksheet number 2.